Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is the best car kit I have yet to put together. To see the assembly and painting of this excellent kit, please stick around. You start with the front uprights. I tried to follow the color callouts as closely as possible. I masked some of that with Mr. Masking Sol R. I primed everything except the body in Mr. Surfacer 1500 Black. I didn't have a single fit issue with this kit. Everything you'll see here I purchased for my own use. There are a lot of build videos of this kit on YouTube. It's not a long video, folks. I wanted to focus on the painting as the kit just falls together. When you lay it out, it's not as complicated as you might think. Now the rear uprights. This is a car that really deserves a mirror surface below it to show all this off. After priming and then satin black, I laid down the sky gray, masked and then dark gold gray, then the titanium silver. Put the front upright in, then the rear. I'll show you the wheels later. After painting in Mr. Color GX2, I laid down a coat of pro-scale bright aluminum, masked at what I thought might be weld seams, then a light layer of owl-clad pale burnt metal. That undercarriage is now all done. Let's move on to the cabin. Here are all the parts. Surfaces have been primed and covered in Mr. Color satin black. The leather surfaces will be painted in pro-scale Napa black or anthracite gray. Decals were very good, no issues. For the brake and shifter boots, I used a mix of rubber and gloss black. You can build this for 4 markets. I went with the Japanese. After covering with the Mr. Color satin black, I masked and sprayed with the Napa black leather. For the carpet, I masked to spray a fine layer of enamel clear, then applied a black flocking powder. I sprayed the seats with anthracite gray, masked, and then with the Napa black. Here's everything all together, so let me walk you through what I did. I added the rear protection and the center partition at the angle shown. Then the door panels, they slot right in. Better view of the seats. They're not that blue in the car. Installed the brake, shifter, and painted the controls. I put in the air directors. I painted the control knobs in satin black. some decals and detail painting needed on the panels. You can see here how I made the panels look a little more interesting. Possibly not OEM, but I like it. Now for the body. Almost no cleanup around the edges. I've marked up the parting lines and will sand the surface 1000 to 3000 grit. I primed with Pro Scale Gray Microfiller Primer. I sanded with 3000 grit and laid down another coat. I noted some areas where I've gone deeper and laid down a third coat that I smoothed. The Pro Scale Mazda Platinum White comes in 2 parts. I basically repeated what I did with the primer with the base coat, 3 sanded layers. Then you apply the tint coat. It's a pearl coat, as you can see. I applied 5 coats in increasing wetness and decreasing sanding. The finish is so silky. I use the ProScale 2K system, which is easy to prepare and use. It's very forgiving and gives a great finish. You mix 6 parts clear coat and 3 parts activator. Mix that up. Then add a half part thinner. For 2K, I use my Iwata Revolution 0.5 millimeter at about 23 psi. You put down a slightly wet coat and let it rest 5 minutes. Then a wet coat and let it rest a minute. Check it and apply another coat if needed. It will lay down and you can go heavier than you think. I put it in my 2K curing container for 7 days. After this, I cut it back with 3M Triacta 5000 grit and then 12,000 grit polishing paper. I love the Tamiya polishing compound system. I skipped the coarse compound and started with the fine. Then the finishing. I've used a variety of masking tapes to prepare it for the satin black edges. Hit the bottom edges and the inside of the surfaces as well. I prefer subtle effects and went with the Tamiya gray panel liner. I've used the black on white and it's a bit stark. Then add this part. Use the one for the drive side you are doing. They provide a mask for the inside of the windscreen. The clear parts all fit quite well, with good indexing and places to glue. So I messed up the right headlamp cover. I got glue on it and then scratched it trying to clean it up. I contacted Tamiya, stating I messed up a part and can I buy a replacement. For the third time, they responded that day that they had the spare part and would send it no charge. That's A+ customer service, and I'm very grateful for the replacement part that I messed up. A, B, C, D are the 4 market versions. Paint these carefully. You need to leave that center part clear. You then put a clear insert piece in them. I then applied the regular and metallic decals to the body. I can't say enough good things. That was my first take/effort joining those. After priming, painting with GX2 gloss black, and a clear coat, I applied the Pro Scale Chrome. I sprayed lightly in 3 directions. Once dry, you can then 2K that finish. It stays chrome shiny. Yes, you can 2K their chrome. That's what I'm doing here. The side mirrors are on, and the antenna. Here are the rotating shots, and then the stills. I want to thank Crazy Locha for his generous support of this channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Be well and happy modeling.